Hey, good morning. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and it is not 5 a.m. And I missed yesterday's show altogether. It was a Saturday. It's 8:03, and I gotta make this a short show, which is fine, right? This is our 621st episode. Today, I'm going to talk about value and icebergs, right? I'm going to talk about how do you give value in the icebergs, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? Icebergs and value. You have to show your value to an organization, right? As a Scrum Master. And how do you do that? So we're going to talk about that, and because I got a lot of questions lately. Well, what do the Scrum Masters do, and what are they also supposed to do? So we're gonna discuss, because there's a lot of naivete out there on what a Scrum Master does, especially for managers and people. So, all right, it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg, Mester Scrum Master, Agile Coach, and here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way, so that you can bring value to the customer, not work crazy hours, get home at a decent time, and have a little fun with family or friends. Kind of what I did yesterday. So I had a good time all day. Baseball, kids, family, parks. I think it was a wedding Friday night, so there was all kinds of stuff going on. So it was busy having fun. But what I want to talk about. So I had a manager ask me the other day. Says, well, what does a Scrum Master do? What's expected of a Scrum Master? Because they're trying to figure out whether or not Scrum Masters are what they really need. Here's the problem. Here's what everybody teaches, and here's a problem. Okay. And this is the iceberg. You've probably seen the iceberg thing, where the iceberg's floating in the water, right? And the iceberg's got this little tiny top up top, but underneath it here, underneath the water, is this giant iceberg. And this is the iceberg, right? That's all you see. This is the visible part. And maybe. So what the visible part is are the ceremonies. Yay! Ceremony. Right? You know, what the team is doing, right? This is what a Scrum Master is supposed to be working on. Everything on, I mean, this is all the work that's not visible that a Scrum Master does. Now, the question is how to make that visible so they can see it's valuable. I mean, it's kind of like looking, I had this glass of ice up here, right? I don't know if I could do this. See, most of the ice is below the water line. You can't really see the. Oop, I just spilled water on my. That's not good. Anyway, most of it hopefully won't fry my computer. I think it's sealed. Most of the iceberg is below the water line, just like what we do as Scrum Masters. And I probably should get a paper towel and kind of soak it up a little bit. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I cleaned up that mess. So live. What do you want? Anyway, so when I say, hey, Greg, what do you mean the value that we produce? We run ceremonies. Yeah, ceremonies really is not very hard. It's hard. I'm going to say it's difficult, but it's not the value that you give to the team nor the organization, because all people see, well, I can run a daily scrum. Probably could. About a month worth of training, I could train anybody how to do a daily scrum and do it really, really good. But there's more to get to that point that has to happen outside of daily scrum with the team and people and things like that to do it. Sprint planning. Hey, all I do is read out what's listed on the screen, because anybody can read that. I just read the items on the backlog during sprint planning. So do I need a Scrum Master? Demo. Oh, well, the developers and everybody, they show their work on a demo day. So what do I, do I need a Scrum Master? Well, maybe. Sprint retrospective. It's just a group of people. All we just ask, what did we do well the last time through the sprint, and what didn't work out too well, and what would we like to change? Well, anybody could do that. Yeah, that's pretty basic, right? I'll be honest with you. If I were to tell that to a manager, first time running Agile and Scrum, yeah, I probably could change a lot of project managers into Scrum Masters, or anybody into Scrum Master. That really isn't the hard part. The mechanics of Scrum is easy. It's bringing value to the customer, value to the client. That's not easy. That's the hard part. And that's the part, the value. Bring value. That's underneath there. And what we got to do is show that we're bringing the value to the customer, because this is where the customer sees. The customers up here, they just see this. Oh, that's not a lot of work to do. I just do a ceremony, I do a daily scrum, I do a sprint review, I do a retrospective. Yeah, I could do that. Sprint planning, yeah, I can do that. And it's all this stuff down here that you do that really brings value. The iceberg underneath it, the customer does not see. And you got to bring this up. And there's things that we do that people like, well, I asked, it's just, so they're, they ask that question. So what can we do? One, make sure we're getting work done. I love this stuff. Hey, Sean. Welcome back, by the way, Sean. What can I do, right? So I'm just going to give a couple things because it's going to be a short show. But I want you to be mindful of this when you go into a thing. And if all you're doing as a Scrum Master is doing the ceremonies, yeah, then I don't think they're going to keep the Scrum Master position there, because it's not worth the money, right? It's not worth the value, the return on the investment. So when you're in this position, are you helping people get stuff done? Are you showing where you're challenging the team to build more capability? Are you increasing the output of the team? Not because you change the point structure, but because they're actually physically doing more work and getting more done. Not because you change the story from getting some business value to let's do an analysis story. Let's do a development story. Let's do a testing story. Let's do an integration story. So you allow the team to make that take 4 sprints to get done that should be done in 1. That's not providing value, right? Breaking work down in such a way, I'm going to help you break the work down, but that doesn't bring more value to the group, because the value doesn't come for like 5 sprints, 6 sprints, maybe. God knows when it's going to come, right? So the idea is that what used to bring value, what's getting in production? What have you have done to help the team go from a 6-week production delivery to a 2-week production delivery, right? That is bringing value to the team that you've shown and demonstrated the team. Showing the teams how to do automated tests, getting them to come up with ways of inserting that into the Scrum, pushing the envelope, that is bringing value to the team. Bringing more stuff done helps the value to the team. Sorry, but that's the truth, right? So I just wanted to share that too. I want to be mindful of that. Just because you learn how to do the Scrum ceremonies isn't the value. Now, all the other Iceberg, what do they do? Right? Everything from when I coach people for doing a meeting, facilitation is not just about the small part. What's visible is in the meeting. The part that's not visible is all the prep prior, getting everybody the list, figuring out what the agendas are, what do you want to talk about, bringing any materials, getting everybody ready, that, and then the post agenda, doing a retrospective on it. Did we do it right? Did it work? Spending that time before and after an event, making a quality event. I'm like, if your only part of your quality event is that middle part. Even I got hit the other day. People are like, I use Microsoft's whiteboard. It's very kludgy. It's a piece of junk compared to Mural, or any of that other stuff. It's just a piece of junk, right? But it's what they got. It's not too bad if you use it the right way. But I didn't have the team properly prepped to use it. My mind was to use the team to get into it, because everybody knows how to get in there, log in, register. Basically, my prep work should have been contacting each and every member on the team and show them how to install the software and get working on it, and me working with each one-on-one so they'd be more effective in the meeting. I really should have done that. I didn't do that. I copped a plea and said, okay, let's learn how to do this while we're all together. It's a big mistake. People didn't like it. However, I have another team who uses the whiteboard who loves it. And I said, well, it's kind of close. Maybe we could use them. No, we're going to use this. We really like this whiteboard. So I had drastic differences. I had a team that picked up on it, lickety split. I had another team that basically I would have to hold each, and I'm really surprised from a technical development perspective, each developer's hand to how to use Microsoft Whiteboard, but I had to be ready for that. So anyway, just to close, just remember what you do as a Scrum Master. You have to be mindful of the value delivered to the company. And the value is not running a ceremony. If you think, and that's my biggest problem with project managers nowadays, by the way, I see them, well, I updated Microsoft Project. I asked them when things were when they're going to get stuff done, and they told me this. If that's what you think a project manager should do, you're really not a real value add. It's extra overhead cost, to be honest with you, to fill out a PowerPoint slide. Same thing goes with Scrum Masters. I'm going to tell you right now, if all you think a Scrum Master job is to do a ceremony and run that and not get the team to stretch their goals like an Agile coach, stretch them. I mean, if they're not kind of awkward with you, then you're not doing your job, right? If they're shutting down on you, there's other problems you have to fix, and you have to dive deep underneath the iceberg to find out why they're not talking, right? There's a lot of buildup underneath that thing, why teams aren't talking. You got to figure that out. So that's what I have for today. I wish you all the best. Happy Scrumming. And I guess that's it, right? Give us a thumbs up if you like the show. And then ring the little bell. Just remember, you got to bring value to the teams. You got to bring value to the company. Me in a consultant world, I know that if I don't bring value, they don't hire me. I don't come back. So, but as a Scrum Master too, it's more than just the ceremonies. And if you think you get out of the cert how to run the ceremonies, and you think the stuff they put on the decks, because they can only fit so much in a class, is everything there is what a Scrum Master do. You got a lot to learn. So, all right, take care, everyone. Have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday or Monday, depending where you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And see you.